From the beginning of time, the mislabeling of dogs has been going on. Nobody has ever known what the real name of a dog was. You probably never would have even bought this picture or owned a record or nothing if you knew this dog was a pit bull, because you probably wasn't a pit bull fancier. But in reality, he came from pit bull stock. You may call the dog a Staffordshire Terrier, but the dog came from pit bull stock. This is the dog known as the RCA dog. The RCA dog was a Staffordshire Terrier. That was just one of the biggest lies ever told against the American Pit Bull Terrier. Had to be. That had to be one of the biggest lies ever told against the Pit Bull Terrier, is that this dog was a Staffordshire Terrier. Although the Staffordshire was in England, a dog that they called the Staffordshire was in England around that time. That particular dog is a white terrier. And you can see clearly he's been crossed to bull. Came out pied. That's what I would have thought they'd have came out, was pied. All white with brindle ears. Pied dog. After the banning of the Pit Bull Terrier and bull baiting, we the country saw we have no more use for this dog. So we had to turn the pit bull into a show dog. In order to turn him into a show dog, we got to calm this aggression down. Eradicate it. That's the word they used. Eradicate the aggression from the dog. So we have to cross it. We have to cross this terrier to a third dog. And that's exactly what began to happen to the American Pit Bull Terrier in order to create what we know today as the Staffordshire Terrier. That dog too was an American Pit Bull Terrier. But in order to become a show dog, he had to be crossed and become a bigger and take on bigger form. Look at those big nostrils. Look at those big old nostrils on that dog. They didn't even want to say the American Pit Bull was the real name of the dog that was in the Little Rascals. That's him though. He was the dog that was in the Little Rascals. He became a Staffordshire Terrier when he came to America, when they crossed him with a third dog. But you can see this dog right here. He's also pied. So that's a bull and terrier cross. I mean, he's an old school dog. He's an old dog. See, when the bull and terrier, look at those eyes. When the bull and terrier crossed, I mean, wouldn't you think it would become a pied dog first? An all white dog to a bulldog? It would only make sense. It would only make sense. It would only make sense. That was Petey. Petey the Pup, 1929 to 1946. 1929. Petey the Pup. Look at Petey. That's a bull and terrier cross. It's not a Staffordshire. This might be what they call it, but that's a bull and terrier cross. All white terrier to a bulldog. 1929. That's the real Petey. He was not a Staffordshire Terrier. He was a Pit Bull Terrier. See, it was okay to call the Pit Bull Terrier by his name when we was fighting the dogs. You know what I'm saying? Back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. It was okay to call him by his name then because you could threaten somebody with this dog. You don't want to go up against no bull. But when it became time to eradicate the dog, we don't want him to, be the one to display all the dogs. We got to separate him. Look at Petey. Petey is an example of a bull and terrier cross. You can't get no better than Petey. Have y'all ever tripped on Petey? How many of y'all ever tripped on Petey, a 1929 dog? Real bull and terrier cross. 1929, real bull and terrier cross. That's what it would look like right there, without that bullseye painted on his eye. The Staffordshire Terrier is not supposed to have one eye painted, though. They want his whole face to be one color. Look at Petey. That's a real bull and terrier right there. That's the bull by terrier right there. Petey is a perfect example of the bull by terrier. Way before the Ruffian. The Ruffian wasn't added to Petey at this point in time. 1929. The Ruffian was a show dog too. We're going to go see at what time was the Ruffian a champion. I know a lot of people know. See, there's a lot of people that think Ruffian is just a pure bloodline. But there was a dog named the Ruffian. Yeah, blood, steel sharp as steel. A lot of the people in the community been, educating me and lacing me up too. But right here, we're gonna look at Petey. Look at Petey, a real bull and terrier cross. That's not a Staffordshire. Can't be. That is not a Staffordshire Terrier. That cannot be a Staffordshire Terrier. That's a bull and terrier cross. See it? That's Petey. That's crazy right there. Christ the bullet. Yeah, they was glad to tell you that they had a pit bull terrier dog when it came down time to fighting. These dogs right here was putting movies. These dogs was putting rap videos, but not this particular dog. This dog right here, his name is the Ruffian. When you say you have Ruffian in your bloodline in the American bully community, this is the Ruffian right here. Well, this particular dog right here, that's the Ruffian. Dogs that go a long way back in American Pit Bull Terrier history and American Staffordshire Terrier history. See, that's the Ruffian. He was one of the dogs to help create the Staffordshire Terrier. One of the main dogs. He's got a deep lineage in the Staffordshire Terrier history. But he also has his own bloodline, the Ruffian. He has his own bloodline, the Ruffian. These dogs go a long way back. And sometimes it's nice to look at them. These dogs, man, were in movies with actors, rappers, movie stars from a long time ago. From a long time ago. Staffordshire Terrier dogs right there. But you can look at them until they have a pit bull lineage. You'll always be able to look at this dog and see a pit bull lineage. You can see a heavy pit bull lineage in that dog. That's a AST. And he's brindle. Nice. And that's the ruffian himself. Old dogs, old lineage. This is what an American bully is supposed to look like. The characteristics of an American bully come from dogs like these. Straight backs and long necks already. You shouldn't have to paste the dog together. Because boy, they've already been pasted. The ruffian is a nice dog. He is a nice show dog too. Very nice show dog. We the people in the American bully world say all the time, we got ruffian in our dog. And you might have to know what ruffian is and who ruffian is and what ruffian was. Ruffian was a real dog before he was a dog line. He was a champion. He was a champion dog. $19.10 record. Damn. This dog go back to 1910. Man. So, you know, when it comes to just doing the lines and lineages of these dogs, you would get confused. You know what I mean? Because, man, the pit bull, the bull and terrier, he must have came first. Here comes the champion ruffian, 1910. I mean, he couldn't have came not too much later. He was that big in 1910, so he had to be a little smaller in order to grow. 1909, 1908. That's the champ. That's champion the ruffian. When you say you have ruffian in your American bully, do you even know who ruffian was? Ruffian was a major dog. Let's take a look at the ruffian. See, 40 and 50 years ago, if you had a pit bull terrier, he got respect. You know, he was making money for people. You know, he was killing dogs, you know. And for what? You know, all that was just to please his owner. That's all it was, just to please his owner. He was taught to please his owner. 1910 record, man. Probably was one of the first dogs ever bred to a pit bull terrier was the ruffian. Look at this. You just keep getting so deep into these dogs, you know, sometimes when you look at it as a American bully person, you start to realize you got a whole lot of traits that didn't come with these dogs. You didn't went all the way outside of the community. All the way outside. If you have a bulldog influence, you don't see that dog has a bulldog influence. He's completely off the ground. And that's the real champion ruffian. You know, pit bulls used to risk their lives for their owners. And the making of them is crazy. This is the makings of an American bully. These are some of the lines you should have in there, not bulldog lines. Champion the ruffian lines. 1910 record. Man, that's old. That's old. That's old. This is what should be compounded in most of our pedigrees. Like I say, man, if you really look at the dogs, you'll completely see what they look like. when you start to look at a American Pit Bull Terrier, an American Staffordshire Terrier, and Champion the Ruffian, and you still got the Ryan. You know, you look at these dogs and it trips you out on how they look now compared to then. How they look now compared to then. Dogs that would literally chase down a cow or a bull and grab him by the bottom lip and try to drag him down. That was what a bulldog was meant for. If you was going to put a bulldog in your program, you should have put that kind of bulldog in your program. The one that would go run out there and grab him by the bottom lip. The real one, though, not the imaginary one. The real one. Once you see him do it, you know, put him in your program. Because that dog right there looked like that was the bulldog that went out there and grabbed him by his bottom lip. His name was the Ruffian. He came from a pit bull lineage. The Ruffian came from a pit bull lineage. All these dogs came from a pit bull lineage. They were making the pit bull look different. This is just a different look on the pit bull. But, you know, he became a champion. He has a champion look. Some Ruffian people will let you know all about this dog. This ain't a dog that, you know, the community plays with right here. It's a real dog. It's a real community. And it's involved in the American Bully. It should be heavily. If you don't have Ruffian in your program, you should run out and go put some in there. Fast. Real fast. I'm telling you, these are the real dogs that belong in the American Bully. Champion the Ruffian. 1910 lineage, man. Way back in the days. Yeah, that's an old school Ruffian dog right there. That's an old school Ruffian right there. It's one of the Harwin dogs. Old school Ruffian. See, we all heard the pit bull fanciers. They already told us that the mayors. They said the marshals. They said the outlaws. You know what I mean? Remember? They said the city council. Everybody was coming over there to get a piece of the action when the dogs was fighting. It was cool to call him by a pit bull name back then. You didn't want this dog to be called a Ruffian or a Ryan. See, in order to make him a show dog, you know what I mean, we had to switch him up. We had to put some new blood off in there throughout the years. Because if not, he would have been a complete pit bull. Just a bull and terrier. So a third blood was added because, you know, you had the city council getting a piece of the action. You had the police department getting a piece of the action. You know, you had some attorneys out there. They was betting on dogs. You know, you had the banker out there. He betting on dogs. You know what I'm saying? Man, you had the sheriff out there sitting right there at pit site betting on a dog. They was betting on these dogs, betting on them to fight. But this right here, that's a Harwin dog. Red Rock of Harwin. 1972. Ruffian. Sky. Golden Lacey of Harwin. For the American Bully community to see. Did you even know there was a Harwin Ruffian? Well, you know now. You know now, American Bully community. Because this dog is how your dog is supposed to look. Not like a bulldog. I mean, when your dog just don't have no calves and he can't breathe and he's not able to be shown, you can see this person is showing this dog. The dog has always been able to be shown. This is a Harwin Ruffian. Her name is Sky Blue. She's nice and big. That's a nice big dog. That's a Ruffian dog. And it's just crazy how these dogs should be this big, but yet they're so small. The dogs of the old school made a real American bully, but today's dogs don't even make an American bully. It's not hard to tell. You have breathing problems. You have leg problems, hip problems, back problems. You're looking for a bigger neck when that lady right there had a bigger neck 100 years ago. Look at that neck on that dog, man. Look at the dog straight back. These dogs were already built. The dog has totally been broken down and transformed from what it should be. That's a Harwin dog, Ruffian dog. Man, you should love a Ruffian dog. If you ever had a chance to look at a Ruffian dog, then you should just be thankful for that. That's a part of history, just to look at the dog. You should run out and go put that in your American bully so fast. That's how that dog is supposed to look. That's a bully. The way the dog was built to look. Way before, probably even, Dave Wilson even touched the dog. I mean, that is, a grand champion. Ruffian Blue, bandit of New York. Look at him. Damn. Check that out. Now that's a bully. Everybody has their own vision nowadays, though, of what you want your bully to look like. So, shout out to you if you want your bully to be small and you don't want your bully to look decent like this with a straight back and nice legs and a broad chest and a nice head. I mean, the way the dog is supposed to look with nice hocks and, man, a very nice rear. Look at that rear. That's a definition of a strong rear right there. My gosh, that dog is put together. That's a Ruffian. Staffordshire Terrier Ruffian. Put inside the American bully. See, when the mayors and them was fighting the dogs, they wasn't aware that the dogs can come out at later days this beautiful. Man, that's a beautiful dog. And when you take and destroy this dog right here and make him the size of a bulldog that you can hear snoring and breathing and coughing and just all messed up, man. I mean, brachiocephalic. This dog looked like he a long way from brachiocephalic. Tails that reach the hocks. When you destroy the dog, it's a very depressing and sad thing just to see it go from something as beautiful as that to what you see today. I mean, and then they'll tell you that you're ragging on a dog. How can you be ragging on a dog when what you're looking at right here, that's just beauty. That's an American bully. One of the strongest lines that is really implemented in the American bully is this dog, because the Staffordshire Terrier, created most parts of the American bully, from just all the way down. The Staffordshire Terrier and the Pit Bull was right there. And if you probably can just say, well, there was Bulldog there. Well, it might have came from an American Bulldog, but it damn sure didn't come from a Arapaho Blue Blood Bulldog. I mean, these dogs, that's a Ruffian. Implemented heavy inside the American bully. How could you go wrong? That is, I mean, you could cut that dog's ears and he still wouldn't look like a bulldog because he'd have a nose. That stop has always been just incredible right there. That stop. What happened to the stops and the dogs? They tell me all the time, your dog looks like a pit bull. Great. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Because this one does too. That's a ruffian dog. Blue Bandit of New York. Why doesn't a bully look like that today? They were having big dog shows. Big old dog shows back in the days. Dog shows that will last all night, but these wasn't normal dog shows. These was dog fighting shows that will last all night long. And it was people of all races at these dog shows, like it is today. Just like it is today at these dog shows. And they be fighting them dogs. And shoot, back then, I don't know if you was calling them dogs pit bulls or bulls and terriers or American Staffordshire terriers, but they were bred bull and terrier. So they should have been called bull and terrier. And once you throw them in the pit, that's where they got their name from, pit bull and terrier. Pit bull terrier. The white terrier to a bulldog. Could have been any kind of bulldog, huh? No, it wasn't no small bulldog. I can guarantee you that. But through all of that, America still refuses to call this dog an American Pit Bull Terrier. They ain't gonna call it American Pit Bull Terrier. You know, they'll call it a Staffordshire Terrier. Animal rights groups, PETA, leash and muzzle laws, you know, anything they can come up with to shame and tear down the American Pit Bull Terrier. But, you know, through it all, the Pit Bull community came through it all. Yet, you know, they live it. Dogs chained up, dogs living right. Through it all, the Pit Bull community, they still pushing. It's 2024. 2024, and we still here. The Pit Bull community is still pushing. Shout out to the dogs. They came a long way from what they originally are. Bull and terrier. Then they sent them to America. And America decided to do its thing with them. Through it all. We know from the start they were bull and terrier. Ruffian came in 1910 too. He came in 1910, so in the 1800s, they was fighting these dogs. Been fighting them, been bull baiting them. You think they were only bull baiting a dog? That's another question. And you think these people only had dogs back then for bull baiting? They had barns and they had mines. Don't you think they fought them dogs way back then? Yeah, they fought them way back then. That's how people begin to know what these dogs was all about. It's a true dog, man. It's an American Pit Bull Terrier. But he turned the world into a world-known, you know, he turned this dog into a world-known name, the American Staffordshire Terrier. You know, the Bull Terrier too. Bull Mastiff, he just threw some bulls out there. This dog came a long way. And yet and still, America refuses to call him a Pit Bull Terrier. He's been the RCA dog. He's been on the Little Rascals. And he's been in every entertainer's home. He even went in your pit and came out alive. It's the American Pit Bull Terrier. This was the dog right here. Yeah, let's not forget Sergeant Stubby. Let's not forget Sergeant Stubby in the lineup of the American Pit Bull Terrier.